In this video, we will examine advertorials, or 软文. Advertorials, or sponsored articles, are not new. The word comes from the combination of advertisement and editorial. Merriam-Webster recognized the first known use of this word in 1946. Advertorial content has been produced for decades in magazines, newspapers, radio, and television. Publishers and advertisers increasingly use advertorials as a means of boosting the value of a magazine as an advertising medium. By definition, an advertorial in printed media is an advertisement disguised as a news story or an editorial, whose content matches the rest of the media. In a magazine, it is coverage bought by a brand, and it has no obvious difference from the rest of the magazine, both in form and content. In other words, it is an advertisement that works like an editorial. Sometimes they cover less than a page, sometimes a whole page, and sometimes even several. On radio and TV, such advertorial content is called infomercials. They often masquerade as talk shows in which some business owners will indirectly insert their products and services. Advertorial-generated revenue in the magazine industry more than doubled in the 1990s, as did the number of pages made available for advertisements. Now, advertorials account for over 10% of the advertising income in the magazine industry. Why is it the case? Because they work for advertisers. David Ogilvy, known as the father of advertising, once said, "It has been found that the less an advertisement looks like an advertisement, and the more it looks like an editorial, the more readers stop, look, and read." In 2007, Reader's Digest did a split testing to find out the difference in consumers' perception of an advertorial and an advertisement. For the testing, Reader's Digest created two texts which were completely identical, except that the first one was presented as an advertorial and the other as a traditional advertisement. The purpose was to sell a product called Adolph's Salt Substitute. As a result, the text that was written as an article, the advertorial, ended up selling 81% more products than the one written as a traditional advertisement. Obviously, readers are more likely to read an advertorial than a traditional advertisement. Online advertorials. The same trend is found in cyberspace. As media companies shift their focus from traditional print media to online and digital media, the advertorial has evolved into what is known as native advertising. America's Interactive Advertising Bureau, or IAB, defines native advertising as paid ads that are so cohesive with the page content, assimilated into the design, and consistent with the platform behavior that the viewer simply feels that they belong. Since most consumers are bombarded with ever more prevalent clickable banner ads on the web, they tend to ignore them, which is bad news for advertisers. Advertorials and editorials. When we're looking at ads in a publication, our general assumption is that we're getting information that is separate and independent of the publication's news content. However, advertisers want to blur that line. A 2016 study from Stanford University found that an alarming 80% of American middle school students involved in the study identified sponsored content as real news. Therefore, there is the question for magazine readers. Is what I am reading a piece of journalism or an advertisement? The easiest way to tell an advertorial from an editorial is to look out for things like labels, which can be a good, direct indicator of its true nature. But advertorials can still throw their readers off the scent by using many different names created for the practice of advertising. That's one of the reasons consumers are so confused about what is and isn't an ad. To make things more complicated, advertisers employ strategies that make it hard for consumers to tell they're reading sponsored content. They might put disclosures in fine print, make it smaller, and change the color, for example. Sometimes, the disclaimer is no more than the advertiser's logo in a page corner. Therefore, you should be on the lookout for fine print at the top or bottom of stories you read, as this can serve as a warning flag. Take this page as an example. It seems that the article is trying to teach readers how to cook Chinese food. You can see the enticing pictures of Chinese dishes, complete with recipes, and there is even a photo of a chef along with his cooking tips. But if we take a closer look, we will notice the advertisement feature label on the top right-hand corner, a company logo, Sharwood's, on the bottom right, a lucky draw promotion on the bottom, and 3 Sharwood's items with product details and price tags. It is quite clear that this content was created by Sharwood's, who would have paid money to the publication.